I'm Manya, the marketing head of Women in Business Club.
And hi, I'm Aparna, the junior executive of Women in Business Club.
WIB is not just a college club, it's a student driven platform that explores the dynamic world of business, marketing, and so much more. But enough about us. You've had one of the most fast paced and unconventional journeys given your age. I just wanted to start by highlighting how inspiring your journey truly has been. As you've shared yourself, before even turning the age of 20, you went on Shark Tank, completed 8 internships, worked 2 full-time jobs, studied economics in the US, dropped out, played football for Goa, and received a medal from Virat Kohli. Built 3 companies, shifted across 4 cities, taken solo trips, freelance, created countless videos, and now you have your own new startup day one. Honestly, I've been following your journey for a while now. I'm truly a fan, and it's an honor to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. Very kind of you to invite me.
Okay, since there's a lot to unpack from here, let's start from the very beginning. Project Clay was an edtech startup, which was something that you built when most of the teenagers were figuring out their schools. So,
Mm.
how did starting out at such a young age shape you not just as a founder but also as a person?
Yeah, very interesting. I think about this a lot as well, wherein it does feel like I've had a lot of experiences very early on, and that's given me a head start in terms of a lot of things, right? I think the main thing with building a startup is I've been able to build a network that I think most people our age might not, and especially it's because I think when we're younger, we're a little scared. Yeah, hamari aukaat kya hai? I think that word was never in my dictionary only. I always thought I was a very overconfident kid. Yeah, why would someone not want to talk to me? So I got a lot of rejections. But doing that, I think I have this great stepping stone now. So definitely taught me that. Taught me how to handle a team. Taught me how to dream bigger. Um, and I think right now, if I had not built a startup, cannot even imagine the person I'd be. It's given me everything. But then it also takes away from like I never had a college life or a school life as such. So has its pros and cons. But professionally, it's been good.
Also, you've clearly lived a very different life compared to most people your age. So, if you could give someone in their teens a little advice that you carry with you, what would that be?
you know I've always hated, so as a young founder, no, you get a lot of people giving you a lot of advice, and it's almost always gyan, right? I hate gyan. But so it's always people are going to listen to advice. They're never going to actually, till they live through it, they're never going to do it. They're never going to actually listen to me. But I think my biggest thing would be when I learned the spotlight effect. I think that made a lot of sense to me, wherein we all believe that everyone's looking at us, but like no one cares, right? So we're always thinking, यार ये वीडियो डालेंगे तो लोग क्या सोचेंगे, लोग नहीं सोचते हैं, like they think for a very little amount of time. So because I've failed a lot and I've publicly failed a lot, and what I've realized is that two things. One, that the people love to criticize you, but I've realized that the people I wouldn't take advice from today, I don't take criticism from as well. And then second, again, that everyone is so concerned about how they are being perceived that no one cares about what you're doing, and there are no cons to you as such of failing as a young person. I've failed so much. So I don't even think about it anymore. Like if I sat down and listed all my failures, it would be a long night. So just keep going. Do what you love.
Great answer, honestly. I'll take that with me as well. Also, since you've mentioned that you received a lot of rejections and failures at a young age, so how did you cope up with that?
So rejections, I think, is still fine because like at once I was emailing 200 people, right? So yes, 190 did not reply, but like the 10 or the 5 that did was enough to keep me going. Criticism is harder, right? Like I've been making videos since I was 14, so I've gotten a lot of hate. It wasn't until 2 years back that I realized how to deal with that, and with that I realized, so I'm a very online facing person, so I would get these comments, right, like, oh, criticizing me about countless things, right? One day I started going to their profiles, started actually checking out their LinkedIn's, you know, realized that this is not the place I want to be in, right? So then why would I take their advice or criticism at all? So I've made my circle really, really small. Like I have two, three friends I really go to, and like two, three parent figures in my life that I go to, and then that's it. No one else's opinion matters. But I listen to all of them because you also have to be humble as a young founder. Otherwise, again, you just kind of yeah, it's not the best. So yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. Also, we have got to talk about the CEO challenge and being on Shark Tank. How was that experience like for you?
Surreal. I think CEO challenge was still okay. Like it was like I felt like I've been working so hard and not for not like again you're not going to do very well as like a 15-year-old trying to build a business, right? So this felt like okay, the hard work is coming to life. Someone out there is seeing something, and it gave me more clarity that okay, if you're doing stuff other people aren't doing, you will get rewarded. Shark Tank, however, was insane. Like I've been applying for 3 years, right? Since Shark Tank came out, I've been applying with that same startup, and we finally got in. And honestly, when people ask me how was the experience, I don't remember most of it because it felt like a dream. And we got grilled. We got grilled a lot. So, but yeah, it's given me a lot. And very grateful.
Like I'm sure that you have met a lot of cool people throughout your journey, right? So what is the best piece of advice that you have ever received?
Very good question. I don't think I've been asked this before, actually. What's the best piece of advice? I think, more than advice, I think the most important thing for you to do as a young founder is to surround yourself with people that are 100x better than you. So whenever someone tells me, yeah, you're so cool, I'm constantly in my head thinking I'm so stupid. Like, I had a boss, right? Very good friend of mine who
Yeah.
now he built the world's biggest AI filmmaking festival. Neither did he know anything about AI, nor did he know anything about Bollywood. Like, but in 3 weeks he built the world's biggest festival, raised 1.2 crores to do it, right? So I think more than advice, it's just seeing my closest friends, being in films with Manoj Bajpayee and just
Yeah.
raising $500,000. Um, Competing with Google. I have a friend that's building a voice AI model, and it's the fourth best in the world, beating the biggest giants, right? He's a 22-year-old kid with a team of like three people. So the best thing that's happened to me in my career is being surrounded by people that have taught me you can just do things. Like put your mind to something, you can do anything in the world. Nothing is out of your reach. Yeah, and the best advice I must have gotten then must be yeah, surround yourself with people that are way cooler than you. That's the only important thing.
That's such a great answer. So, okay, Project Clay was a great success, but it's shut down, especially after giving so much of your time and energy into it. I assume it must be pretty hard for you. So, you mentioned in your recent LinkedIn post that you were very demotivated for almost months. So, what actually helped you to finally step out of that phase and choose a new direction for yourself?
Momentum. I think once you stop something now, it's like I'm not good with science, but there's that Newton's law, right? Like something in momentum stays in momentum, and then when it stops, it's hard to sort of restart again.
Yeah,
Need a
yeah,
push,
yeah. That's
right?
true.
So when I was in momentum, it was great, right? Waking up at whatever 7, going to the gym, then working for 18 hours, like great. And then when that stopped, it was so hard to start again. What actually helped was then going out and doing stuff again. So the idea for Oats actually came from a founders board game event I went to, where someone was like, "Yeah, you guys should have a passive income stream." Me and my friend were like, "You're right, we should have a passive income stream. Let's start making personal brands for founders." 2 weeks in, we were like, yeah, if we're making personal brands for other people, why not make our own, sell our own product? And from that founders board game event, 1 month down there, we were like, bro, let's sell oats. So what helped was just going out again, getting out of my shell, meeting people, doing things. That was very important.
Also, since you started within it, in an edtech background, do you feel like you should have stayed in that area a little longer since you had more experience?
Yeah, good question. So I think when I joined EdTech also, not like I had a lot of experience. So actually, I'm a college dropout, and I was selling college counseling. My college application I did one night before, but the kids we've helped get into college, we've been working with them for 2 3 years. So I think experience. Okay, I don't know. I feel like experience sometimes is overrated. Okay, just because I know controversial take, but do you guys know yoga bar? Suhasini, right? She was not in the food industry. She was a consultant. She started yoga bar, by going to her yoga class or whatever and selling people those bars. So I just think if you have the grit, you can figure it out. Yes. Now the thing is again, yes. Now if I continue in edtech, obviously after I shut down Project A, I got very lucrative job offers. And you build our college counseling thing for us. I just thought this is not a tough business to build. See, we are taking 3 to 4 lakhs a kid, right? I have 10 kids, that's more than enough. Like, and I can have 100 kids easily, right? So can I build this business back up when I'm 30? Yes. Can I spend my 20s chasing an unrealistic dream? Also, yes. So, should I do that? Maybe. So, my dream today is कि हर Indian household में मेरा breakfast होना चाहिए. Right? Is that a very unrealistic dream? Yes. But can I do that when I have a wife and kids? No. Like when I have responsibilities? No. So, I'm just leveraging the freedom I have right now. I can always go back to edtech. Maybe cannot do this again.
Makes a lot of sense. You will never be as young as you are today at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Also, why did you name your company Day One? Like, what does it mean for you truly?
Um, every day is day one. That philosophy. I think this is something I also had to learn. Where it's not only sprints. Like you need to treat it like a marathon. Every day you have to get after your goals. Otherwise, just one day is not enough. And for me primarily, like I'm a storyteller, right? Like I love telling stories, making videos. So I wanted a name that could be purpose driven. I didn't want a name that had no meaning, that I had to make a meaning out of. Like this is pretty clear. And one day I'd love to have a community. I'd love to have our own VC fund where we're funding our customers, helping them chase their dreams. You know how Red Bull is a content company that sells cans. I'd love to be, that one day, a content company that also sells breakfast. Great product, also obviously primary, very important. We'll do that. But yeah, would love to make content and media a big part of our company.
That was a really good answer. So, even though you have achieved so much at such a young age, but has there been any moments where people dismissed you or, told you to get more experience before you're building something or starting something? So, if yes, then how did you deal with it in like both ways, professionally also, and since we are Gen Zs, how did you deal with it mentally as well?
I mean, every day, right? And I think because this is a women in business podcast, I can also mention that education is a very, very traditional industry, and oftentimes the guys wouldn't even look at me, right? Like the men that were leading the discussions, they wouldn't even look at me, they look at my co-founder, right? Even though I was the one talking and I was the one answering all their questions, which really sucked. But it's like, bro, kaam ho raha hai to ho raha hai. Now that's the thing, right? Like I would love to take a stand, but I don't think I had the auqat to take a stand at that point. I was just like, bro, right now the priority is to make the business successful. So that was one thing. Sometimes you have to let it go, right? But when it comes to the age thing, I think in India, obviously, it's such a big factor, right? Converting parents was so difficult. Once Shark Tank happened, parents started trusting us more. Yeah, बच्चा Shark Tank गया है तो कुछ तो कर सकता है. And also very interestingly, see, I think a lot of parents send their kids to me because they were like, we like you. We like you as a founder, we like your energy. Put some of that in our kid. So was that really like, did they think we were the best college counselors? No. But did we leverage our strengths where we could? Yes. Right. And we understood that parents wanted that. That also became a part of our pitch, eventually. Because a lot of the students that came to us had their own family businesses that they had to run one day, so they had to be good leaders, right? So we understood that, we understood all of that. But honestly, in India, as a young founder, it'll be very tough. But you got to leverage your strengths where you can. For every founder that will be different, but for me, yeah, you need to have some form of credibility, like the fact that you guys are from Miranda. That's great, right? Again, as a dropout, I didn't have much. Shark Tank helped. So you'll have to get something.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense, whatever you said so far. Also, you've mentioned in some of your interviews that building companies and building a startup was something that naturally came to you or was somewhat inherited to you. So what advice would you give to people who might not have that great support system or any background in that space?
Yeah, surround yourself with those people. Like, I think one thing I did, um, took a gap year, came to Bangalore, worked at Blue Learn. Obviously, that's not a privilege a lot of people can have, right? Like, or I think it is, honestly. Like, why mince my words? Like, I got a good salary, right? And I was able to pay my own rent in Bangalore. Yes, convincing your parents will be hard, but whatever it is, if you have holidays in college, I would say the best thing you could do is surround yourself with really high agency and really ambitious people and founders that want to help you. When I worked at Blue Learn, the founders, they were so incredibly helpful. Like, would not have gone to Shark Tank without them. They would teach me, they would sit me down and teach me different pricing strategies for my startup while theirs needed their attention. They helped me figure out a name. Like, they spent hours with me before Shark Tank. Shreyan sat with me every single day for 2 hours and told me, there was, he tell me, bro, you'd be an idiot if you're saying that on TV. And I changed my pitch a lot because of what he said, right? So you need to be around those people. Pick the best founder, pick a small team, pick a young team. The average age in our office was 22, 23, right? So everyone treated me like their younger sibling, and I got a crash course in every single department. So that has to be the best decision of my life. So if you're not in an environment where business discussions are having frequently, put yourself in that environment, learn, and start your own thing.
Also, how was Bangalore like for you? I know it's a tangent to the question I've just asked, but I'd really like to know.
Dude, incredible. If you're thinking about it, you should come, because I think Bangalore is such an incredible city in the fact that you have people from everywhere here, and everyone's come to, make it. And so everyone wants to help you. Like, I have not, obviously, I've not had the privilege of staying in Mumbai, but coming from Goa, this was such a drastic shift, where everyone just is more than happy to connect you, to help you network, to help you grow. So come for the weather, come for the people as well.
Yeah, that's so true. Also, since you have gotten so much experience now, are there any key mistakes that you would avoid building day one?
Yes, yes, very much. Biggest would be monetize quick. And I think, yesterday I was on a call with another female founder, right? She's building Quenzi. Her name's Anushka. And her, like, when it was a half an hour call, she was incredibly kind to give me so much of her time. And at the end, she said, Dimna, your product will never be perfect. Just launch, learn with your customers. And I think that's something I learned building Project Clay as well, where for the first 4 years, just didn't take money. Right. So I'm going to start selling quick. Like, we're going to launch in Jan. We figure it out on the way. We lose some customers, we gain some customers. That's fine. That's how the business works. But yeah, will not stay in my shell as long as I did in Project Clay.
That is such a good answer. I have one question to you that what advices or things that you would say, you should keep in mind if you are starting your new business or a startup, what things you should keep in mind as a Gen Z if you're a Gen Z and you're starting your own
Cool.
business.
I think, like that you stressed on Gen Z. If we're speaking to Gen Z founders, I think main thing would be post content, right? Like, that is such an insane leverage we have. I honestly don't want to put money in ads only. Like, till we hit 1-2 lakhs MRR, people discover you, right? Like, I have a meeting with Zepto because someone saw my content, right? So post content. If young founders are not posting content, I always think there's something wrong, like that, because this is such an easy leverage point. And it's such asymmetric returns, right? Anyone in the world could be seeing it. You could get at Project Clay, we hit 1.2 crores ARR without a single ad. I still don't know ads, right? And we were profitable, and that's why we were profitable, because I wasn't pumping money into ads, right? So highly for content.
It's always great to put yourself out there, there's ample of opportunities waiting for you.
Yeah.
It was such a good advice, to be fairly honest, because we always hesitate that, oh, इसने देख लिया उसने देख लिया ये कर लिया वो कर लिया, but you always have to put yourself out there if you want to start something. So thank you so much
Great.
for that advice.
Great.
Honestly, I love your content. I love the way you storytell. I love everything about your content.
Thank you so much.
And it's honestly genuinely been very inspiring to hear from you. And with journey like yours, I'm sure the future you would keep evolving. And I'm so excited to see what's in store for you.
Thank
So
you.
to end on a reflective note, what kind of a person or founder do you want to your future self to be or look
Yeah, good question. Um, Good question. I think, see, one thing is that I know that I would be the superhero 15-year-old me. Like, if you told 15-year-old Jumna that this is what 20-year-old you is doing, I would, I would laugh. I'd be like, are you like, okay, fine, bro, okay, right? So I really hope that 20-year-old Jumna can look at 25-year-old Jumna and think, what the fuck? Like, we did that. That's insane. So always striving every day to be better. But as a founder, I hope I'm able to make an impact. Like, I think I've had a lot of privilege. And I think as a young woman, queer founder, if I can make it, that it would just be good, to be so good, that for so many people. So I hope I can continue giving back. I hope I can encourage other people to build their own startups. Um, and I think rest will come along hopefully. I haven't. Good question. I haven't thought of that. I will think of that today. Yeah.
Frankly, you have just inspired me a lot personally as well.
Thanks for reaching out to me. I'm
Yeah, thank
privileged.
you so much
Yes.
for being there. We would also be very happy to collaborate with you in the future.
Of course, I'm going to send you guys my samples. Would love to get feedback.
I would personally love that.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay, so thank you so much for giving your time for this, and we genuinely learned a lot from you, and genuinely thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Great stuff. I'll see you. Thank you. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Thank you.